good morning, good afternoon, good night, my light family. Oh, deep reverence and honor of you. I see you. Oh, something huge is happening. Something really big is happening. So I'm really witnessing in partnerships, or even if people are in separation in those partnerships, like really just this deep act of just being in sovereignty with your other half, not being combative or judgmental, but holding this honoring of self and loving of self, and not allowing the things that are not love, through from the partner, not accepting it, right? Not accepting it into your being, not eating, the damaging thought forms that might be getting tossed around, just allowing, just standing it and being like, yeah, I'm not, I think some of the words that people were using, quite frequently was a doormat, not allowing, right? Because we can love the love, right? We can allow that in. We can see, we see people as they are. I see people as they are no matter how they're acting. But on a human 3D level, we are in a place of free will. We are in a place of sovereignty. We are in a place of choice. We get choice. Oh, I always go like this with choice, but it's like this little choice that expands into infinite everything. That we have choice in every moment of what we're going to let through our being, into our being, allowing it to take root or not take root, or to be a part of our existence or not be a part of our existence. And so I can remember when I was really jacked up, and I remember it was a program thing, but they would say, you love the person that's addicted, right? But we don't have to love the addiction itself. We don't have to love those pieces. We're not being asked to be like, cool, no. Love the person. Whew, that was a blanket of love. I was just like, a blanket of love. Love the person. So I was just using addiction as a thing, but let's just say any behavior, right? Narcissism, victimization, martyrdom, sacrificial energy, negativity, anything, right? We don't need to accept that, and we don't need to judge it, and we don't need to not love the person. We get to do all simultaneously. Why do we get to do that? Because we're huge multidimensional beings. Is it difficult? Oh, yes. Is that not easy? Yes, why is that not easy? We were brought up in some programs. We were brought up in some ideas. I just got Southern. I always go Southern when I'm about to drop some things. Right? We had some ideas. We have some thought forms. We have programs. We have templating, right? That are false templating. We have things that we were brought up in, that our whole cells, our DNA, our minds, our experience believed in, right? We were living in it. We were hooked into it. We were just a part of it. And now you guys are rising out of it. Right? So you're going to have moments where you're in higher self, God's self, connected to God. You are going to be like, whoa, you are love. And then there's going to be moments where you dip because you are human, because this flesh is denser than your spirit. You're going to dip sometimes. And I was like, dip, baby, dip, but get back up. You can dip all you want, but get back up. And maybe one day we won't have to dip like that. Maybe it'll just be, a higher self dip. It'll just be a dance move. It won't be like dipping into lower frequencies. So, love thyself, love thy partner. But you don't have to accept the parts of you that aren't aligned. You don't have to accept those things, right? We get a moment of looking at it and accepting that you did that. That's where the acceptance is. Just that little moment of oh, dang, I did that. They chose that. Then in that moment, we get to go from that to, okay, I see you as a big, badass soul. You are huge, and you are able, if you made that decision and you created that reality, you are able to make a new decision. You're able to make a new reality. And if there are some thoughts that are locking you into that reality, we have to gut them out so that we can have those new thoughts that are real thoughts, that are true thoughts, to allow ourselves to create a different reality. But we have to always come back to a place of love. So you guys know what I'm talking about. When we see things we don't like, Come on, I even in union, Dov and I see things that we do to ourselves and to one another that we're like, oh God, that doesn't feel good, right? But if I stay in that and I start judging her, you know what happens? The polarity gets thrown off. You know what happens? That energy that I threw at her comes back at me. Because what I do to others, I'm doing to myself simultaneously. So just understand, as you are, I always say, when you're doing this, all those fingers are coming back. You're doing it to yourself. When you are abusing somebody else, even if it's just thoughts going towards them, if you are judging them, it's okay to be angry, because I'm hearing you. It's okay to be angry. Allow yourself to be angry. You are human. Allow yourself to be angry, but we can shift. What I'm saying is we can shift out of it so that we can be compassion. Compassion, don't have to accept the things that are not something that we want to experience, because you have choice. You see what happens? So much good happens, right? What did I say? As you treat others, you treat yourself. So if you're starting to treat others with compassion, you're treating yourself with compassion. If you're treating yourself with compassion, you're treating others with compassion. And then what starts to happen is your vision and your reality starts to turn into this bubble of compassion. It starts to feel Gucci. It starts to feel good. It starts to look good. The way you handle the situation, you start to be higher version. You know when you show up in higher version and you take the higher road, how that feels? Oh, your arms go back. You're like, yep. What happens when you show up as like the Grinch? You're like all hunched over. You're hiding yourself because you're like, meh. I've been there. That's why I know. You're just, you can't even. I love it. Man. You can't even like show your face. You're just like this. You're like, And there's a part of you that's like self-righteous in it too, because you're like, well, if you would have seen what I just went through, I get to act like this. Everything that I am sharing with you right now, I have done 10 billion times over. So it was 7 minutes and 7 seconds on mine, right? When I was saying that. So on my clock there is like, I get to say it because I've been there. I only share about my experience and then what I see in the collective. Oh, we got some good. We got some triggers. We got some laughs, maybe some tears. And just allowing ourselves to ground in what I just said and the truth, because I needed to hear it too, right? I'm not always in my highest form, right? I dip, baby, dip. I dip. And it's okay. My dips are important, because when I go into my dip, and I'm not talking about some onion dip or some salsa or guacamole, although I might make guacamole today. When I talk about that dip, it doesn't feel good for me now. It feels extra not okay. When we dip in the lower frequency, when you are used to connecting and being in high frequency and you feel what that feels like, that beauty, when you dip, it doesn't feel good. And sometimes you got to dip to feel how awful that is, and just remind yourself that you don't belong there. And that if your partner's there, understand that they're suffering. And so I love you guys so big. I believe in you so big. I honor the work that you're doing. You guys are doing amazing. I've been just crying almost every day for the 7 master keys, the 7 twin flame master keys that Dov and I have created, and how many people actually have it in their they have it and they're working on it, and it blows my mind that that's happening, right? It's really cool when you create something and you know that there's people like in your stuff, and you can see the ripples already. You can see the expansion and the courage. Whoo! Oh, the courage to get in that material and the courage to shift. The courage. You guys have so much courage. So I was going to make this shorter than what I made it, but Spirit took over. Spirit took the wheel. I love you guys so big. I hope you have a blessed day. I send you big love. I send you peace, right? Allowing yourself to be in that peace that transcends all understanding wherever you're sitting right now, just accessing that peace. And you're feeling that calm like right now, like boom, boom, boom. Oh, you have access to it all the time. The whole world could be just falling apart and you just, I'll go dip right now. I'm going to shake. This is way cooler though than the dip. Because the dip is, it's not like this, baby. Because you could, this all day, this has been like, the shimmy has been here for a very long time. And this stuff it's not going to go away. This shimmy, so just shimmy today, right? Just shimmy in your peace. Allow yourself to shimmy. Move that energy. I'm about to go hit the gym. Allow myself to just reset. Let go of some of this excess energy. You guys are beautiful. Light and love.